Hello. Good evening. Come on in, my lovely virtual fitters. Tell me about your day. How's it been? Have we had a good one? Are we looking forward to this evening, to the weekend? Yay! Do you know what? These weeks are just zooming by, aren't they? They're just going full pelt. Cannot believe it is July. I cannot believe that this is 15 weeks of a lockdown, or lockdown-ish. Obviously we're easing now a little bit, but it's unbelievable how quickly time is going, and it's Thursday again. Brilliant. Good evening. Hello Joe. Hello Joe. Two Joes. Hello Joe. Hello Jello. And hello Belinda. Good evening. Afternoon. Good evening. Afternoon. I'm not sure. And another Joe. We've got 3 Joes tonight. Hi Joe Moody. How are you doing, my lovely? How is work? Hopefully you are back to it full swing now. We're definitely missing you on our Zoom chats every Thursday morning. Do think of you. I hope it's all going well. Okay, I'm just going to wait for a few more moments, not too long, because I'm going to get it on my bike 15 minutes around the block, because my 10-year-old this morning would not run in the rain. He refused to run in the rain. He is British. You'd think he'd be quite used to rain by now. But yeah, so he's going to go and run, and I'm going to ride my bike. I can't run again today. No more running today. I can say, well, I've got club size and a crazy hit coming on tonight, so I'm going to just go to a nice bike ride. Hence why I'm not going to wait too long to start this. I know this is an awkward time for people, so finishing work, sorting out tea, sorting out kids. So this will be safe for you. So do join me. Hello, Sharon. Good evening. Good evening. So I think this is a topic that's going to affect most people in this group, i.e. if you're female. This is probably going to affect you. So yeah, just a small proportion of my clients are men, but usually men come with an accompanying woman, so it's good to know. So it's always good to listen up, no matter what gender you are, and also no matter what age you are as well. So even if you're if you're lucky enough to be young, and menopause is a long way away, or if you're older and already had gone through the menopause, then this is also good, because hormones aren't going to change dramatically, and a lot of this affects you. So no matter what age group you are, this is something to listen up to. So the title of my talk is Help! I'm heading for the menopause and I can't control my weight. I think so many women say this, that when they are approaching menopause, hit menopause and beyond, the weight is so difficult to manage. And a lot of people think, yep, going through menopause, it goes hand in hand. Menopause weight increase always happens. It always happens. But actually, there's no evidence to link the two. There's no convincing, no evidence, no study to say, yeah, there is definitely that as you reach menopause, you will definitely have weight gain. There are reasons why and consequences of, which I'm going to go through in a second, but it's not guaranteed, and it's not always going to happen for everybody. So there's no convincing link between weight gain and menopause itself. And I think, in this day and age, now in 2020, there's about 2/3 of people are overweight, women I'm talking about, or obese. And many of us ladies facing their menopause at some stage face the double whammy of having weight struggles throughout the year, and then they have menopause, and it's just the two together, and it's just like boom, it's just so much to face and so much going on. So let's just go through this. So I think many women in their 40s start to have trouble sleeping, thinking straight. They got the multitasking, generally just coping with life at 40, and then obviously we're going to go through that menopause as well, which can exacerbate a lot of those problems and concerns that we face. And these are real problems, definitely real problems. So there is a link between weight, hormones, and perimenopause and menopause, but there's not a conclusive study to say yes, it will definitely happen. So let's go through. I've got 9 reasons why we struggle with our weight at this age, and I'm going to go through that. And a lot of these you're going to be like, yeah, this resonates with me. Yes, I'm going through this. Yes, I went through this, and blimey, I hope I don't go through this when I approach menopause. So whatever age you are now, whatever stage of life you are now, listen up. Okay, basically, many of us, and I think, hands up, many of us have been on and off diets, and I'm saying the word diets. Many of us have been on and off diets for years. Some of us, all our adult life, have been on and off diets. In fact, 65% of us have tried to lose weight in some way, and a whopping 2 million people are going through fad diets every single year. And these fad diets rarely have any long-term consequences, and they very rarely lead to long-term weight loss. So your body keeps thinking that it's being starved. So you crash diet, you lose weight, and your body thinks, here we go again, being starved. When you're in that position, when your body is really clever, your body, it will think that it's doing you a favour, and it will start stockpiling fat. So going on fad diets where you lose weight and then you gain weight and then you lose weight, your body is just going through this hormone frenzy, and your body thinks, I'm going to be really clever here, I need to protect this body, I'm going to fat store because I need that energy, because she's going to go on that fad diet again in a couple of weeks, couple of months, and I need that storage there. It's not a myth. This is definitely absolutely accurate. So it's the on-off dieting throughout life that we're dealing with. And then along comes menopause. So you're gaining more weight than you're losing. So maybe in the years that you've been yo-yo dieting starts to catch up with us when we come to menopause. The point is that we approach menopause already struggling with our weight and already having not cracked how to lose weight, how to stay fit, and how to keep it off forever. We haven't cracked that by the time we get to menopause. Some women, yeah, absolutely. But a lot of women no, because they've been on these fad diets, these quick fix diets that they think are going to work for them, but they haven't. So I'm not going to sort of go to the end of this, the moral of this story, but basically we don't need to be on a diet. Let's just do small lifetime changes, sustainable changes throughout your life, which is what I teach, is what Real Fitness teaches, which a lot of women, I know you guys do because you're here with me, a lot of women don't get it. They don't get that. They think they need to go on this quick, lose weight, go on a diet, lose weight, go on, and it's not going to work. It's got to be sustainable, long-term choices that you're making. Okay, I'm going to get back to that in a second. So the point is we approach menopause already struggling with our weight, having tried and failed many times to get it under control for years, and then it gets harder, and it's just not fair, is it? It's just not fair. We've been struggling our whole lives with our weight, and then all of a sudden menopause, and you're like, holy macaroni, here we go, it's going to get worse now. Okay, so on and off diets for years, problem number one. Number two, we tend to move less. Our joints become stiffer, which means we burn less energy. And yeah, I think us guys in this group, we are an exception to the rule, because I know I'm teaching you to move. You know you need to move. But generally speaking, we move less. Maybe from when you were younger, when you were a teenager, you moved more. When you were pregnant, breastfeeding, running around after small children, you are burning much more energy, and things start to relax off a little bit. They tend to sort of relax a little bit, and you don't need to have that ongoing energy that you did before. So when we were back in the days, burning all that energy, running around after kids, doing all that, we could eat a little bit more and get away with it. But as we got older, we're still eating the same. So that we're eating probably about 200 calories-ish a day extra that we need to, and that is going to catch up with you. It will catch up with you. Also as well, a lot of women who are at menopause, perimenopause, menopause and beyond tend to be a bit put off with exercise because they have pelvic floor dysfunction. As we get older, our muscles weaken, and who wants to jump around and have pelvic floor problems? And obviously I know, you guys know, there's so much more you can do, but instantly people get put off because they think it's not going to be good for me if I bounce around in a class. It's obviously finding the appropriate type of exercise for that. Okay, so our bodies need less energy growing as we get older, so we don't need to eat as much. But yes, we are still eating as much. And because nowadays food is so readily available, perhaps not like this, not right at the moment, but normally food is so readily available. You know, you can walk down the high street, there's food. You've got all the, you know, takeaways, restaurants, everything normally, obviously, open. So everything is readily available and prepackaged. Okay, point number four. What's more, we lose muscle too. This is called sarcopenia, and I have spoke about this in my classes. So that word might, sort of ring alarm bells. So basically, we lose around 8% of muscle every decade. So it's somewhere between 1 and 3%, depending on you, obviously, and what you're doing. Not my group, because we're active, but for the sedentary woman, it might be, you know, as much as 3% muscle decrease every year after 40. This is so as you're approaching perimenopause and beyondwards. So this means that we need to obviously build that muscle up as well. We don't want to reduce muscle, we want to build it. Muscle is metabolically active. So the more muscle you have, the more calories. Okay? So even if you think, I'm going to crash diet, lose lots of weight, the chances are, if you're doing that and not exercising, you're going to lose muscle as well as fat, and it's just going to become harder and harder and harder to lose weight as you get older and older. Okay, so there is also, next point is also some evidence to say that lower levels of fat-burning brown fat may contribute to the middle-age spread too. This is something that's being researched, so not a lot of information on that right now. Number 6, changing hormones around menopause can affect the way we store fat. So when we were younger, we stored fat tends to be around the hips for childbearing sort of age. And then as we approach middle age, it kind of around the tummy area. So it tends to be around the tummy rather than around the hips. So instead of being like a pear shape younger, you may become more of an apple shape. And you know, it's if you've never had that before, it can be sort of like, oh, what's going on in my body? I'm still eating the same stuff, I'm still fairly active, but look, my fat is changing, the position of my fat is changing, which is, hormones do this. And obviously this has a problem, visceral fat. So if you're storing more weight around the tummy, this is visceral fat. So you're going to have problems with, fatty liver, heart disease, diabetes can affect this. You can be affected by this if you carry more weight around there. Don't forget also the psychological reasons as well. Maybe as we get older, we have less to occupy our time as kids leave home. There's maybe you're not doing as much every single day. Maybe you're caring for older relatives as well, and that can be sort of quite a strain on us. That puts extra pressure on many of us at a time when our energies may be low. What do we do when we have sort of psychological problems? We might turn to food for comfort as well, and we're not going to eat carrots and cucumbers at this stage, are we? We're going to look for the things that satisfy us instantly. Your high sugar, your high salt, your alcohol, those types of things, which is just going to go whoosh, straight to the tummy. We also might be overstretched, high pressure jobs, and don't forget the perimenopausal brain fog that comes with this as well. We might be worried about our own health, maybe the health of our loved ones, finances as well, which again can cause stress and overeating. And then finally, we might be starting to lose our self-esteem a little bit, where we've had a real focus earlier looking after families, looking after house, whatever it is, and now those strains have gone, eased a little bit. So we start thinking, oh, well, what's my purpose in life now? And some women who may have had a slimmer body when they were younger, maybe they don't anymore, and they're looking at their bodies and they're thinking, oh, what's going on here? So if you're suffering with low self-esteem, then emotional stressful eating can also come into play there. So when you look at everything that's going on at this time, it's not surprising that it is a real challenge to control your weight. I mean, let's be honest here. Okay, so what can you do from right now? So if any of those you're thinking, yeah, some of those are resonating with me now, or I might experience this in the future, or yeah, I'm still dealing with that right now if you're post-menopause. What can you do right now? Well, the first thing you can do is look at what you're eating. Serve yourself smaller portions. Who is going to miss 200 calories a day? Seriously, how are you going to miss that? You're not. So make those small changes to your plate. Make sure your portion of food is nutritious. Let's have calorie dense food that is really, really good for you. So we're looking at things that are going to protect your health and your weight. So fresh fruit, veg, oily fish, nuts, whole grains, white meats if you're a meat eater, all the things that are going to help you to reduce your risk. Reducing the intake of sugar, processed foods. Obviously, this is the the enemies of weight loss, and the more likely to increase to abdominal fat as well. Keeping active. Say no more. You know that you're here. It is top priority for you, but obviously keep active. Whatever exercise you can do is fantastic. And build up, don't start and say, yes, I'm going to run 50k this week, I'm going to do 4 classes on virtual fitness, I'm going to ride my bike, I'm going to do a yoga session every night. No, just start small, fit that into your life, but it's got to be sustainable. This is for life. And this discussion I had with my Zoom group this morning, just think of your life as like a pension plan. If you're paying into a pension and then you stop for a year and then you continue, the rewards at the end aren't going to be as good. So if you stop, start all the time, but just chip away, make those sustainable life changes. Address those areas that are causing you anxiety and stress, as cortisol is the stress hormone that helps you cling on to fat, especially around the abdominal area. If this is something that you want to consider, and I'm not saying either way, I'm sort of absolutely neutral on this, and I have not a great deal of experience, certainly not personally. But if you think that this is a problem and you need to balance your hormones and you need to get yourself back on track, then do consider HRT, but have a chat with your GP about that, and see what they say. But it's something to consider if you really are struggling. Okay, so that's things that you can do from today. Smaller portions. Nobody's going to miss 200 calories a day. Nobody. Make sure your food is nutritious. Keep up the exercise. Look at your sugar, processed foods. Keep active. So absolutely things that you can do straight away. And I wouldn't say that, wake up tomorrow and do all of it, but just gradually build it in. Just think, is this sustainable? Can I do this? Great stuff. Bye, folks. I am shooting off. I've got to go and have a little cycle ride with my 10-year-old around the block. Well, he's not. He's running. I'm cycling. And then I need to get ready for Clubbercise. So do join me for Clubbercise this evening. We have some great tracks, and then we've got HIIT. And I'd love to see you at HIIT. I know my normal Thursday group will be there, but if you are at a loose end this evening and want to join me, it's fine. I'd love to see you, and of course it will be saved, so if you want to do it at another time. But it's a tough one. Did I say that? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. That'll knacker me off. Bye.